What's going on, Cancer? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the week of August 26th through September 1st, 2024. So in this reading, Cancer, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you, and so much more regarding this week, this last week in August, Cancer. So before we get into the reading, as always, I do want to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading. And I really do appreciate you in advance, Cancer, for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. So without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy for you. We'll see what's going to come your way this week here. What's here? As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Cancer. Ooh. Yeah. All right, Cancer. You know, there definitely is a big opportunity for you to address certain unresolved wounds, or something that you've been trying to run away from is basically going to blow up in your face this week. And for a lot of you, that's actually going to be a good thing, because it means that something you were trying to fix is no longer going to have to be even dealt with. Like, something's just going to get thrown out. But for others of you, it's like you've been running from your demons, and you're going to come up with the universe is going to give you a plan about how to get back on track. And it's up to you to, like, own up to what that really is, to bring yourself into balance, okay? So it looks like a very intense week for you. Also, in what you don't see coming, there's some sort of problem between you and a fire sign, or there's some sort of issue here when it comes to your own authenticity. We're going to have to get into it. But before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and look at some pre-shuffled oracle cards for you. And these oracle cards, Cancer, contain the energy that will make you more happy and successful this week if you can embody them. Okay. The first one here is the Tower. So a certain foundation in your life is now being blown up, which can be quite difficult for the sign of Cancer, because Cancer is an amazing sign, because on the one hand, you are ruled by the moon, and the moon is always moving, right? The moon is so unpredictable. That's why a lot of you have your emotions, like, you're very moody. It's not your fault. You're ruled by the moon. The moon is always changing. That's just who you are, to own that. But the paradox is that Cancer is really good at patience. The energy of Cancer, cardinal water, can be likened to the oceans that has, like, erosion on the shoreline over time. So Cancer is one of the best energies at having a long-term, very patient, like wearing someone down long, over the long haul. The problem with this is that you're being called to let go of a foundation that you probably worked really hard to build. And the sad, and not even sad, because some of you will be aware of it and it'll just be a minor adjustment, like, oh, I just needed to add this, and that's why this didn't work. But for some of you Cancers out there, there's going to be a harsh realization that you built a foundation on sand instead of rock. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a real shock to your... And this is the energy that you need more of. You know, some of you can continue to lie to yourself and keep building on a crappy foundation if you want. But the advice here is the Tower. It's a moment of awakening. And for a lot of you, this is going to be not so pleasant, but it's what you need to do. Be a good boy, now go and get your stash. I seen you throw it next to the garbage can like it was trash. Now, run along before I transmute your ass. I hate to do this to you, but I really need this cash. Mario. Now, the next energy you need more of is the Master. The Master. And for a lot of you, I feel like this has to do with self-mastery, to realize that for a lot of you, I get that you kind of took the advice of other people and ignored your intuition in some sort of area in your life. What I get from this for most of you Cancers out there is to realize that the Master is you. You are the Master here. Okay, and the Master is someone who's not afraid of contrast and who is not trying to build a life that only feels good. The reason why the Master is because they've been through many storms. So I want you to embrace whatever storm that you are actually going through currently, and just view it as a stepping stone to your own mastery. Just view this tower, whatever foundation is being blown up, you have the choice to either view this as your worst nightmare or as a stepping stone to your own mastery, no matter how unpleasant that it actually is. Now, for some of you here, there's definitely that thing about you trusted the advice of a so-called master over your own intuition, and now it's time for you to grieve that and to realize that you should have trusted yourself, or you should have trusted a different master. Some of you were like going to someone who was very credible in your mind just for you to realize that they were not as powerful as they told you. Maybe they had a business plan for you, it didn't work. Maybe they had spiritual plans for you, it's melting. It's filleting, right? Give me that back fillet of fish. Give me that fish. Oh, give me back that fillet of fish. Give me that fish. Oh. Okay. And so, there's something about a fillet of fish master that's going to make you like, oh my God, like, why did I think that person was the master? But for many of you as well, this is about actually having to turn to a master to now help you get through your sorrow. Okay, but for many of you, depending on your energy, Cancer, you're going to know which one you are. For some of you, it's all going to be simultaneous. But for some of you, you went against your own intuition. And you chose to believe in a power outside of yourself that violated your own intuition, your own connection with God, but you believed in someone's authority, and now that's backfiring in your face. And for some of you, this is going to be like your business partners. You're like, oh, I'll just blindly, not blindly, but I'll choose to follow them. And now you're realizing, you know what, maybe this isn't working. Maybe I have to readjust. And that's really all this is for most of you. But for some of you here, there's someone else now, like there's a new master that you're going to have to like call in or something like that if you want, because this is the energy you need more of. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid, like, yeah, life is a nightmare right now. So you might as well embrace it. If life is a struggle, if it's a nightmare, it's the dark night. Many of you need to embrace the dark night of the soul, understanding that the further you get stretched into darkness, when you finally let go and you finally give up and you let go, that much further you'll be flung into the light. So there's definitely some sort of unresolved issue, some sort of unfinished business that is going to be coming to the surface this week, okay? So to get into it, your opportunity is the Nine of Wands, which has to do with wounding and unfinished business. You have the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Right? The energy you need more of is the Nine of Swords, and the opportunity is the Nine of Wands. So there's something to do with the number 9 here. The number 9 is like, has to do with completion, closing out a cycle. It's a very interesting number. If you look at like life path 9s, a lot of them are idiots, or they're actually like humanitarian masters, okay? But you need to be careful with the number 9, but it's your opportunity, something to do with the number 9 here. But I feel like, this has to do with unfinished business with someone or something that maybe you were trying to run away from. And for a lot of you, it has to do with realizing that someone that you put your faith in was not the person that was going to help you build your foundation properly. So for some of you, this can have to do with your love life. For some of you, there's someone that you put faith in that you thought, this is my master lover, this is my master teacher, this is my master whatever, and it turns out that they've got filleted, persuaded the chambermaid to bet her paycheck on a get-naked game of spades. Straight up, no chaser, no layaways. It's the mystic moves, hateaways. Okay, and so this is your opportunity. We're going to have to clarify why in a moment. But no matter what, it's all about getting back on your horse. Like, the quicker you can admit to something, the quicker you can deal with unfinished business this week, the faster you're going to be back on your horse. But there's definitely something going on between you and a fire sign, I feel. Bad. Like, you could be facing rejection from a fire sign, or you could be rejecting a fire sign. That's what I feel. Now, your challenge is the Page of Swords, and this has to do with getting more information. It's also the stalker energy. I do feel like there's people keeping tabs on you at this time. This could have to do with your foundation blowing up, depending on what type of situation. This can be new people trying to come into your life, or this can be people trying to get information on you here. Okay, so the Page of... Whenever I see the Page of Wands in the challenge, it's usually like some person waiting to do something to you, or it's people trying to get information on you. And your challenge could be to get more information yourself, because for a lot of you, there could be like trauma blinding you from the truth here. And that's why the Page of Wands, if for many of you, it will be an external influence kind of trying to stalk you, but in conjunction with that, or indifferent to that, a different message for the different Cancers out there, if the first part didn't resonate, end consciousness in addition, is that your challenge is to get more information on something that is falling apart in your life, or some sort of trauma, right? Like, you have an illness. Don't just go to the master doctor who's going to give you pills like Dr. Mario. No. Go to a holistic doctor, or like seek alternative information when it comes to a situation that is really feels unfinished. You know what I mean? Seek alternative information. Now, there can be a meeting of minds here, new people coming into your life. In your overall general energy, you have the Judgment card, the Knight of Pentacles, and also the Knight of Wands here. So I feel like the Judgment card is a major shift in consciousness. It has to do with the ability to discern well, but it's also Judgment Day. So I feel like a certain phase of your life, Cancer, like the energy you need more of is the Tower. You can't go on doing things like the same way that you've been doing it. So whether this is about you being in a leadership role and having to check your own ego and taking a step back, or putting your blind faith in a master that basically destroyed your foundation here, or something like that here. There's definitely a readjustment. It's Judgment Day in your life, and all you can do is get back on your horse. No matter how slow it seems to be, the journey ahead of you, as you let go of a foundation that didn't work out for you, as you let go of something that you put blind trust in, as you let go of mistakes you made, as you ask God for forgiveness, as you ask people for forgiveness, all you can really do is get back on your horse, do the hard work, and remain enthusiastic and hopeful. So fire yourself back up again, get back on your horse, because there's clearly like a hard pivot, there's a hard adjustment that is going to change your life here. Now, for a lot of you, you're having a trouble with a fire sign in your life, or you're having trouble accessing your own authenticity because you are believing in a power outside of yourself rather than your own connection to Source and God and your life stream, your energy that connects you to Source consciousness. And what you don't see coming of the Four of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. So this has to do with emotional apathy, potential rejection. The Queen of Wands is a fiery individual, could be a fire sign woman or man who's very authentic, who doesn't care what people think. And then you have and then you have the Five of Pentacles here, which is about really, could have to do with temporary financial difficulties, being left out in the cold. And because I see, wherever I see this, a combination of the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Cups, this could be people like abandoning business deals. This could be you. This could be, I feel for many of you, this is going to be you choosing to move on from a situation that you thought was a solid foundation, but now you're going to have to pull your energy back because that's the authentic thing for you to do. So there can be a bunch of people that are like let down by you in what you don't see coming, or you could be really let down by a lot of people this week, Cancer, for the last week of August. It's really what I feel. Now, for some of you, you want to make sure that you're not rejecting your own authenticity at this time because of whatever. But for many of you, the energy that you need more of is the Tower, the Master, and Sorrow. So some of you need to seek out a master. You need to realize that there are many masters in the world, and you need to seek out a couple of them or one of them to help you right now. But for others of you, you need to realize that you put blind faith in a master who is just trying to sell you some ish. Like, I really feel that, Cancer. For some of you, the biggest lesson of this week for you is that you went against your own intuition. Maybe you turned on someone, and you knew you shouldn't have. Maybe you tried to play someone. Maybe a master told you to invest in this, and it wasn't good for you. So this is a lesson in your own discernment. This is definitely a lesson in your own discernment about who you can trust, about trusting the gut feelings instead of someone's credibility or something like that. And then in your advice, it's pretty I don't know, it's pretty bland almost. Like, you have the Page of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and also the Four of Swords here. So I don't know. I'm not really getting, I don't know why. I'm just intuitively look at these cards, Cancer. This is the advice for you. I want you, instead of listening to the Tarot Master right now, this is your first test. Use your intuition. What does this advice say to you? You have the Page of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Four of Swords here. So there could be something about guarding your own peace amidst immaturity. Guarding your own, this is something about defensive energy is what you need, but I feel like maybe it's about defensive energy to an old foundation. The Page of Cups is also here, and the Page of Cups reminds you that you are actually a mystery unto yourself. People, you can be around someone, your whole life, and you don't actually fully know who they are. And so that's how you need to view yourself too, and that's how you need to view masters too. It's like people don't really know what they're doing as much as you think they do in this world, but there are the ones who do, and there are the ones that act like they do. And do you know the difference between them, even if one looks great and the other looks crappy, but it's actually the other way around vibrationally? Okay, there's a big something's going on here with this, Cancer. Why do you the energy you need is the Tower and Sorrow. So don't be afraid to be flip out this week. You need a flip out. You need to be in sorrow, and you need a Tower. And your opportunity is to deal with something you keep trying to avoid. I feel like for most of you, it's a crappy. Okay, for some of you, it's literally a crappy foundation. You just need to own up to it. Okay, for others of you, it's not a crappy foundation. It's a foundation pillar. It's a cornerstone to your life that once was good, but now is causing you to be inauthentic. So you got to be so let's go ahead and clarify this reading for you, Cancer. Why is the Nine of Wands here in your opportunity? Why is the Nine of Wands here? Justice. Knight of... Yeah, you jumped into something, Cancer. Cancer. You jumped into something without thinking it through, and now you're... The Nine of Wands in your opportunity is clarified by the Knight of Swords here, and this is you jumping into something without actually considering the long-term consequences. And for a lot of you, this has to do with some sort of person you put your faith in. Oh, they're my business mentor. They're so good. Meanwhile, they're literally scamming you. Oh, they're this. They're so good. They're my spiritual mentor. They're my black magic practitioner. Filleted! Okay, so get a break. Give me a break. And you also have the Star and the Eight of Swords. So you're not as stuck as you think that you are. And your opportunity is to have a new wish fulfillment, to heal yourself, to become natural again, to trust the feelings that you have and your own connection to God and Source and the universe, rather than putting foundation in stupido master. Okay? And you're not as actually stuck as you think that you are right now. Okay? You're not. Because no matter how long, because for some of you, what this is about is that you are worried about how long it's going to take you to build yourself back up, or if you even can. Based on this energy, I do believe you can. But it's also Judgment Day, and so you have to really be willing to do things the right way this time, and whatever that means for you, you know. So let's clarify the Judgment card. You could be under judgment at this time, like of people that you once had a connection with too, or something. Wow. There's definitely, I feel like there's either someone from your past, you know, the Judgment card is clarified by the Six of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Swords. So that could be like some sort of official ending. Like there is a Facebook ending going on. The Six of Cups has to do with your childhood home or your nostalgia, roots, hometown, ancestry. So for a lot of you, there could be a problem with your going on within your family. There can be some sort of official ending. You could be under the judgment of something like that, or like some of you could be going through a divorce or whatever it is. You know what I mean? The Tower, sorrow. Now, yeah. So it's for some of you, you're better off just like kind of wiping the slate clean in any area of your life that you feel called to, because this reading it requires honesty, no matter the consequences. Suffer reality. Suffer realness. Will burn, but it will always be better. You know. Let's clarify why the Queen of Wands is here in What You Don't See Coming. It's the centerpiece to this reading, but it's surrounded by the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. The Hanged Man. The Moon. Six of Pentacles. Some of you here, there could be a fire sign who tried to hurt you that is now exiting your life, and that could be part of the foundation here. For others of you, there could be a fire sign that you were hurting, you didn't realize it, or for some of you, you did realize it. The Queen of Wands the Queen of Wands in What You Don't See Coming is clarified by the Hanged Man, the Moon, and the Six of Pentacles. So there could be some sort of like someone is caught. Someone is caught and there's karma coming, but the karma, like what the results will be, is unknown. So this also could be like you don't know how someone's going to feel about you, or you don't know how there's something is really weird between you and a fire sign, probably a fire sign woman, but it could be a fire sign man right now. Or there's something to do with your own authenticity and how you built a foundation. You built the relationships based off like a character, or you blindly trusted in a master who basically let you down here. So there's something going on weird with you in a fire sign. That's what I feel called to say. Let's also clarify why the Page of Cups is in your advice. The Hermit, Four of Cups. Because jumping back on this fire sign, the King of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Three of Swords in reverse. It jumped right back on that Queen of Wands. And the Page of Cups is clarified by the Four of Cups. And you know what? All you got to do right now, make the corrections you need and then go watch a feel-good movie, because right now life literally seems to be falling apart for a lot of you. But right now, for many of you Cancers out there, this is God's hand is over your life. God's hand is over your life right now, for most of you out there. So just go watch a feel-good movie. There's something going on outside of your control, perhaps, but at the end of the day, like, this is in your overall general energy. So I am predicting that there's going to be a major ending to a foundation and something official in your life. And the energy that you need more of is the Tower and Sorrow. And don't be afraid. Like, when you seek help, you are not weak. The ability to seek help shows that you're willing to continue to go on. So don't think that you're weak for calling on someone to help you. For a new master, a new friend, someone you need to explain what's going on. You are not weak for asking for help. You are actually strong, because it shows that you want to continue to go forward. So with that being said, Cancer, do what you got to do, but know you got to change. Trying to find your way out the game.